New to Indian's Chief lineup is the Sport Chief, which was introduced in 2023. It is a power cruiser with an air-cooled 1.9-liter V2 engine, which wants to inspire above all with its torque. Volker and Dietmar checked whether this works during an extensive test drive. Visually, the Indian Sport Chief is already thick. It is actually a large motorcycle with a wheelbase of no less than 1.64 meters. Its silhouette is strongly reminiscent of the Harley-Davidson Lowrider S, with which there are many other similarities. Indian himself says the following about the Sport Chief: in terms of performance and style, the Sport Chief takes the nimbus of American V-twin performance cruisers to the next level. The Sport Chief costs €22,490 and is available in white, black, red and gray. The Sport Chief comes in series production as a solo-seater. The footrests are only slightly forward, so you don't sit quite as casually as on other cruisers from the USA. For this purpose, the handlebars are raised no less than 15 centimeters by appropriate risers. The machine weighs 311 kilograms ready to drive and is allowed to carry around a total of 526 kilograms. The seating position is, as with the Lowrider, a little stooped, and the low seat height of only 686 millimeters almost gives you the feeling of sitting on the road. Unfortunately, we couldn't do a pillion check because of the lack of a second seat, but the Sport Chief is not made for long trips for two anyway. The cockpit of the Sport Chief is dominated by a round 4-inch color display. It is a touchscreen that accepts typing commands very well, which also works excellently with gloves. And if there is such a beautiful display, of course, corresponding features should not be missing. For example, full map navigation is on board, which, by the way, also works without a smartphone connection. If the mobile phone is paired, phone calls can be answered and music can be controlled with an extra switch. Even apart from these newfangled media stuff, the standard equipment of the Sport Chief is impressive. There is cruise control, 3 driving modes, USB and 12-volt connections, cylinder deactivation, keyless ride and a very informative onboard computer. These functions are easy to use, as there are 3 buttons that are used to control the cockpit. And the Sport Chief doesn't show any weakness when it comes to light either. LED technology everywhere, daytime running lights, hazard lights, and even resetting turn signals seem more natural here than on any other cruiser. Although the rear light, brake light, and turn signals are installed in one unit, the turn signals can still be seen well when braking. Whether all this technical diversity really has to be in a US cruiser is a question that everyone has to answer for themselves. In any case, everything works great, and also without a long training period, Indian has undoubtedly managed that quite well. Unfortunately, we can't offer the sound check with the standard rear silencer here, as our test bike from Powersport Nord was equipped with a Kestec system. However, if desired, she really goes on a rampage. You can drive the exhaust flap control in 3 positions, from neighbor-friendly to pithy thunderstorm, everything is there. The stationary noise is 96 dBA. The box sounds really cool open at idle speed. Like a fat ship's diesel engine that nothing can block its way so quickly. The fact that the engine with its 2 fat cylinders is air-cooled can not only be seen right away, you can also notice it when driving. No less than 162 Nm are already available at 3,200 RPM. It doesn't really bother that the engine runs out of air a little from 4,500 RPM, because you rarely rev that high. We found it amazing how cultivated the engine pushes the carriage from the bottom to the front even in 3rd gear. No blubber, no complaining, no chain hitting, okay, there is no chain either, or other antics. The V2 pushes forward completely without complaint and, if desired, with emphasis. It was also amazing how quickly we got used to the Sport Chief. Although it is a real ship and initially inspires a lot of respect from the driver, we more or less immediately got to grips with the peculiarities of this power cruiser. Turn-in behavior, upright position when braking in corners, shifting in transmission, etc., everything worked right away without any big surprises. Special praise goes to the brakes of the Indian Sport Chief. At the front, a Brembo M 4.32 system works on a 320 double disc. The 4-piston fixed calipers grip courageously and apparently have little trouble with the weight of the Sport Chief. The Bosch 2-channel ABS regulates cleanly and not too long, and the rear brake also does a good job. Actually, such braking performance should be a matter of course for a motorcycle with this size and weight, but unfortunately this is not the case with all power cruisers from the USA. The actually simple chassis of the Sport Chief is also convincing. It can only be adjusted in the spring preload at the rear, but at least we didn't miss anything here. However, you rarely drive a power cruiser, despite a lot of power, at the limit, so a fully adjustable or even electronic suspension would be pearls before swine. In any case, the Sport Chief rides more on the comfortable side, although the short suspension travel at the rear in the event of potholes and the like raises the white flag relatively quickly and sends a well-intentioned greeting to the intervertebral discs. But that's just the way it is with belt-driven cruisers, and the Sport Chief is no exception. The Indian Sport Chief is a frontal attack on the Harley-Davidson Lowrider S. It is probably no coincidence that lines and looks, engine performance and price structure are comparable. Plus point for the Indian, the standard equipment and braking performance are better. Plus point for the Harley, the engine revs out even more willingly at the top. Seen in its own right, the Indian Sport Chief is a casual power cruiser that shines above all with a lot of esprit and individuality. If you would like to ride something special, you should take a closer look at this machine.
Wo 1 los. Heißer Hossa.
2, 1, ab geht der Fuchs. Alter.